Hey guys, it's Tyler Bundy here with eXp and Your Advantage team here doing another quick video on contracts, and today we're going to be doing agency disclosures. What is it? When do we need to use it? Why do we need to use it? And something that I need to get just a little bit better about, apparently. That's what my team says at least. So here's the agency disclosure. This is a document that we are required by law to give to our buyer or seller at the first opportune time. So they make it somewhat a gray area, but basically, as a hard line, we need to have this signed and dated before we have any contracts. So whether it's a listing agreement or a purchase agreement, this document needs to be signed the same day as a listing agreement, the same day or before a purchase agreement. Ideally before the day you write an offer, because it's pretty easy to assume that you've probably shown them several houses before you actually wrote an offer. So they want to see that date several days before, preferably, and so they know that this was done at the first opportune time. So what this document actually has, there's a couple different levels to this document. This is for sellers. This is also for buyers. So let's talk about the buyers. So in regards to buyers, this is a limited buyer's agent, and these bullet points are what the roles and responsibilities an agent has to a buyer. They work for the buyer. They don't disclose any confidential information. They may be required to disclose adverse material fact. They must present all written offers. They must exercise reasonable care. You have a limited seller's agent. They work for the seller. They don't disclose any confidential information. They might have to disclose to the buyer any information that might cause damage to the property. So if it sprinkles rain outside and there's a foot of water in the basement, and the sellers tell me or tell you, you by law have to disclose that to a future buyer. Okay, so that's what the disclosure adverse material fact is. You should have learned that in any of your classes, but that is what this is for. So the buyer and the seller understand exactly what your role and responsibility is in the transaction. Now, I tell every client, this is not a contract. This is just required by law for me to have you know what my roles and responsibilities are to help you find a house or sell a house. It's pretty simple. So when you're filling out this document, you're filling only one of these four boxes, okay? Most of the time, it's either going to be a limited listing agent or a selling agent or a limited buyer's agent, okay? Now, if they ever ask about a dual agent, what is that? That is where you're representing the seller and the buyer. And it's only representation if you show the buyer more than one property, okay? So let's give a scenario. I listed a house. Somebody comes through my open house, and they decided they wanted to buy my house and they wanted me to write the contract. Well, when I give them this agency disclosure form, I'm actually going to them sign this portion of the document, which is a customer only section. Now, if they wanted to look at more than just this one property, or they wanted me to give them advice and recommendations as an agent, then I would be representing them as a buyer's agent. And then we would have to do another document explaining that I'm also acting as a dual agent, representing the listing agent and the buyer's agent. This can get somewhat confusing on the dual agent side. You're rarely going to do that. So to keep this tutorial simple, and if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the card below and we'll make sure we respond to them. But to keep it simple, limited buyer's agent, you're representing the buyer, not the seller. Limited seller's agent, you're representing the seller, not the buyer. And this is for you're just required by law to give this to them. Now on the second page, this is an updated part. You're required to put the team's information. If you're a part of a team or you're on our team, you're going to put the name, your phone number, have the buyer's initial there, and then the team name, the team leader, and the team leader's phone number. And that's what you're going to put there. And that is pretty simple. That is all that this document really is. You're going to want to give it at the first opportune time. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments on the card. in Trello, and we'll make sure we get back to them. And we will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Take care.